Chapter 1. On the day the gods wanted her circumcised, Alabasi was sitting, restless, on a low stool, washing dirty dishes in a large, plastic bowl. She caught hold of the hem of her flimsy skirt, tucked it between her slim legs and reached into the plastic bowl for the last dish. Nothing exciting happens in this place, she thought. There is nowhere to go except to another, boring part of the village. As she began to scrub the dish, the wind brought her news of an approaching group of singers. She sat up, listening like a dog sensing an intruder. It was, indeed, the sound of drums and singing. After a whole week of feeling caged in this village, something exciting was happening at last. And the sound was getting closer. I must see this. She dropped the dish back into the plastic bowl and sprang to her feet. The tucked skirt fell into place, 3 inches above her knees. She began to wipe her hands dry on her legs, against the skirt. "Where do you think you are going?" Alabasi's mother Machozi asked, stepping out of a kitchen made of rusty, corrugated iron sheets. It was leaning so badly, a careless wind during a rainy season would collapse it. "Finish your work, Alabasi. My husband will be here soon, and he hates waiting for his meal." Alabasi fidgeted on her feet. "There is a group singers coming from somewhere up the village." "So? I just wanted to go outside and watch." "Not until you finish your work. By then they will be long gone, Mama. Please, I don't want to miss anything before I go back to Freetown." "Well, I brought the camera Daddy bought me and I don't want to hear a word about your useless father in this house. Hear me?" "Yes, Mama." The singers and drummers were closer than before. Alabasi could hear them as if they were about to pass the house. "Mama, I have to take pictures. Daddy told me." "Are you deaf? You are here to spend your holidays with me, not to sing your father's name in my ears. Do we understand each other?" "Yes, Mama." "Can I go now?" "Useless man. Skirt chaser. Is he still chasing women?" "No, Mama. Except that lawyer, Oya, and she has never called him useless. HMMMFF. You lie with a straight face, just like your hopeless father." After a thoughtful pause, Machozi's angry frown slowly cleared from her face. "All right, I'll go with you to watch the dancers. You can become like one of them, you know." "Who are they, Mama?" "Members of the Bondo secret society. You become a member when you get circumcised." Machozi released a sweet smile. "Would you like to become a member?" "I just want to take pictures." The smile froze on Machozi's face, then she sighed. "All right, Alabasi, let's do it your father's way for now. Come, let's go." Alabasi sprinted ahead of Machozi, dashing into the house through the back door. She bumped a chair out of her way and darted into her bedroom, the one with the window facing the dusty road outside. She had no intention of doing photography from behind a window. Besides, her father had told her to get close to any object she wanted to photograph, wild animals excluded. "Where is the camera?" She twisted around on her feet as her eyes searched the room for her backpack, the bag where she kept most of her favorite things. She remembered shoving the camera inside the bag. But where is the bag? There it was, sitting on the floor, at the foot of the bed. She took 2 quick steps, grabbed the bag, set it on the bed and zipped it open. Her hand disappeared into the bag up to the elbow, fingers searching for the camera. She could not find it. The drummers and singers were almost passing the front door, and here she was in her room with her hand lost inside her bag, rummaging for a camera. Alabasi became frantic and began flinging out of the bag anything that did not feel like a camera. Last week's laundry flew out. Braziers smelling of sweat, unwashed panties she would kill for if anyone else tried to see them, dirty jeans slaughtered at the knees, slips, skirts, oversized t-shirts, stolen lipstick, the camera. She snatched it out of the bag, scattering her remaining things all over the place. Now her room looked as if it had been hit by a bomb. "I will pack later, before Mama starts screaming." It was time to take the best photographs in the world. She scrambled across the bed on all fours, like a giant crab. Then she flung the window open, leapt out and fell on Machozi like a wild animal. Her mother exploded. "Are you going crazy?" I am sorry, Mama." "Did you have to jump out of the window?" "I have said I am sorry." "No, Mama. You are as hopeless as your father." "Yes, Mama." Machozi sucked her teeth, hissing like a cobra. "Foolish girl. Your father is just letting you grow up wild in the city?" Then she turned to watch the bondo women dancing their way up the dusty road. With her camera in her hand, Alabasi took up position a few feet away from Machozi, away from the reach of her quick hand. Some children were running all over the road ahead of the group of dancers. They were noisy, excited, fighting and falling on their distended bellies. Alabasi ignored them and focused on the bondo women. 2 drummers and a female masked dancer were leading the group. Each drummer, a woman, had a small drum grip tight under her armpit, beating it with her palm and a curved, little stick. Alabasi raised the camera to her face and clicked away. The masked dancer wore a giant raffia skirt, extending from the base of her neck to her knees. She was quick on her feet, dancing on her toes in small circles, then in triangles and squares, twisting every which way in harmony with the drums. Her giant raffia skirt fanned out, swishing this way and then that way, with each powerful twist of her body. Alabasi edged closer, trying to capture each breathtaking twist with her camera. "Daddy is going to love this." People rushed out of their houses to watch, most of them women and children. Some huddled in front of their houses, while others stood in crowded groups along the road, applauding, hugging and crying. Alabasi took photographs. Then came the group of half-naked girls. Alabasi counted 6. The oldest was about 12, 2 years younger than Alabasi. The youngest looked 6 years old. Each had a lapa, a piece of cloth, tied under her armpits, the way women tie towels after having a bath. Their hands, feet and faces were painted bright with white clay. They were dancing barefoot on the stony road. If Alabasi had danced like that, she would end up with bleeding feet and not wear shoes for days. Yet these girls, including the 6-year-old, were stomping the earth without flinching. "They can handle pain," Alabasi admitted, with grudging respect. Their song was catchy, infectious. Even in the short time that she had been taking pictures, Alabasi had mastered the lyrics and was humming along under her breath. "I must take close-up pictures." She began to dance her way down the steps, singing along with the bondo girls. For the time being, this could take the place of the nightclubs she was missing until she got back to Freetown. Suddenly, Machozi's hand clamped down on her shoulder and yanked her back. She skidded backwards, as if she had stepped on a banana peel, and landed on her bottom. "Where are you going, singing and dancing like that?" Machozi was so angry she was shaking. "Do you think this is Freetown?" I. Alabasi picked herself up from the ground. "Daddy said. Shut up about your father. He is not God. Mama, you are a school teacher, you should understand. I just wanted to take close-up pictures of the girls. Don't you dare go near them, hear me?" "Yes, Mama." Gborka. Alabasi frowned. "Mama." "Yes, I called you Gborka," Mama snapped. "Stupid girl. One day you will come and stay with me permanently and learn your native tongue. You are not a Creole, like your useless father. You are my flesh and blood. You are Temne. Understand? You called me a Gborka? You are a Gborka. Uncircumcised. That's what you are." Alabasi looked over her shoulders at the half-naked dancers. "You mean those girls? They are not girls. They have become women, so talk respectfully when you talk about them. There is a 6-year-old child among them. Did you not hear me say they are now women?" Machozi grabbed Alabasi's left ear and twisted it, hard, like a driver twisting the ignition key of a stubborn car. "Did you not?" Yes, Mama," Alabasi cried out. "They are Wu00, men." Machozi shoved her away. "If you ever try to go near them again, I will beat you until your skin peels. Do you understand me?" Alabasi rubbed her left ear. It felt hot. "I just wanted to take pictures and ask a few questions about the Bondo secret society." "Subhanallah." Machozi gasped. "Go away from here before I lose my temper. In fact, go to the back and finish your work." Gborka. Alabasi shut her camera, turned around and went to the back of the house to finish doing the dishes. Her heart was heavy with the pain of rejection. "Mama does not know me," she thought. Back in Freetown, she had been face to face with danger and survived without a scratch. She had sneaked out of the house and gone with Eddie, her boyfriend, to join a student demonstration against the government. The demonstration had turned into a riot and violence erupted all over the streets. Students ran in panic, scattering from the brutal police. Like cockroaches at the flash of a light. Alabasi had been in the thick of it. She was pushed, shoved and knocked about until she thought she was going to die, but did not. Why? Because I am a woman, she wanted to cry out loud for Machozi to hear. I can handle pain. When she reached the yard, she sat back on the three-legged stool, put the camera on her lap and began to wash the last dish again. Then Machozi came by and stood beside her, as if she wanted to get something off her mind. Alabasi, she said. Yes, Mama? If you get circumcised, you will no longer be called a Gborka. You will be respected as a real woman, fit to be the wife of a paramount chief. I don't need a paramount chief. I have Eddie. She shifted to the right and started rinsing the dishes in a nearby bucket. Alabasi? Yes, Mama? Machozi sat on her heels beside Alabasi, rubbing her back with a gentle hand. If you don't get circumcised, no one in this village will ever respect you. No man will ever want to marry you. The riffraff boys will be after you for sexual fun, like dogs. But if you get circumcised, none of these ugly things will happen to you." She paused deliberately, to let her words sink into Alabasi's heart. "Would you like to become a bondo woman? I can arrange everything. Daddy will. Your father will never know, until you tell him. I. Think of the glory, Alabasi. You will be taught how to be a real woman, how to cook a meal that would make your husband lick his fingers, like a child. Eddie eats with a spoon, not with his hands. You will be taught how to be a good housewife," Machozi continued, "and how to be a wonderful mother to your children. Think of that day, Alabasi. Think of the passing out ceremony, graduation day. You will be dressed in the most beautiful clothes ever, with gold earrings, gold trinkets and all types of jewelry. But Mama, if you love me so much, you can still dress me that way without. Unless you get circumcised," Machozi snapped, "I will not dress you in gold and silver." A flash of memory passed through Alabasi's head, like the replay of a movie. Eddie's mother had given birth to a baby boy named Urasimi. After Duro was circumcised, his little penis was wrapped up with fine gauze and regularly soaked with baby oil, to take away the pain of urinating. What a fat joke. The neighbors up the street could hear little Urasimi screaming as if his body had been invaded by military ants. Alabasi glanced sideways at her mother. "Mama." Machozi dressed her face with an encouraging smile. "Yes, dear? How do you circumcise a girl when she's not a boy?" The smile vanished. "Boys have penises," Alabasi continued, "but girls don't. How do you?" Machozi's slap hit Alabasi in the face like a small bomb, toppling her off the stool. The plate she was drying flew from her hand and the camera rolled into the bowl of water. She lay on the ground, eyes and nostril wide with shock. "You have started sleeping with boys?" Machozi screamed. "Gborka. I will not cry, Mama," Alabasi did not say out loud. "I can bear pain because I am a real woman already."